Breaking news. Trump has come out with his abortion statement. And Massey and I decided we were going to have a little conversation about this.
And we need to.
Because we need to. Because Trump came out with his policy that it was up to the states and Supreme Court did right and we should hold it with the states. And this was kind of his official position placement. Lindsey Graham came out, disagreed. Lindsey Graham is for 15-week federal abortion ban. Trump argued against him and said Graham changed his position and now he wants 15-week as opposed to nothing and blah, blah, blah. And Trump's argument was that in order to win elections, and the hard left Democrats will never like what you do, and in order to win elections, you've got to go the states' rights route.
Yeah, you got to compromise.
Compromise, right?
That's really what he's saying.
And Massey and I thought it was important for us to give our opinion.
Yeah, I think too, to even throw it at the states, where in the state constitution or the federal constitution does it permit the states to even rule on life? Again, go to the Declaration. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men are created equal. They're endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those rights come from God. No man or woman or state or federal law can determine when life begins or ends. Euthanasia, it doesn't matter what it is. We have no right to determine when life begins or when life ends. Okay? Some of you will argue for the death penalty. That's a whole other conversation we can have. The moment we start playing God, and we've done this for a long time in this country, and civilizations past, not just this country, but civilizations past, have determined when life begins or ends. And the bottom line is, isn't it funny that the left never compromises, but the right always has to? I'm just being honest with you guys. It's not about voting for Trump or not. This is about what's right and wrong at this point. And are we going to continue to keep holding the line of we have to compromise to win? Because we have to compromise in order to get him in so he can do the right thing? That doesn't make sense. When has that ever happened?
And that it's always cart before the horse, right? It's always, well, if we compromise, then later down the road we can. The Republicans have been playing that game for
totally, man,
60, 70 years at this point. Why is it the Democrats never have to compromise? Why is it every bill, every law, every policy that they put forward, there's never conversation of, well, I mean, we've got to back this off a little bit. It's always what we want. We're going to push as hard as we can, and it's all or nothing. And then you get this opportunism, and what frustrates me about it is, and I was telling Massey on the phone before we pressed record, I'm so tired of, well, I'll compromise my ideals or my principles in order to win. I would rather go down and lose, knowing with clear conscience that I stood on principle and conviction, than win and have to look back and go, well, I did compromise on that, but I got a win.
Exactly. And I really want to read Florida. Just go to your state constitution and read its Bill of Rights, okay? Its Article of Rights. I'm just going to do Florida's right now. I just did Ohio's last week, and dude, you guys need to read your constitutions. I just want you to read what the state says about life, okay? First, Section 1, first article, Florida. All political power is inherent in the people. That's what it says. First line. The enunciation herein of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or to impair others retained by the people. Number 2, basic rights. All natural persons, male and female alike, are equal before the law and have inalienable rights, among which are the right to enjoy and defend life. If you truly believe in the science, you leftists that'll watch this, you people, I don't care who you are. Science has already proven life begins at conception. We all know that, and you guys want to deny it, that's fine. It says, among which are the right to enjoy and defend life and liberty and to pursue happiness and to be rewarded for industry and to acquire and possess and protect property. That's pretty explicit, right?
It is.
So when you're looking at the states, is the states going to then upend their constitutions to fit your narrative, to kill your babies? That's the bottom line. This is what we've been trying to say. Republicans have been scooting left for a long time, and it's evident now. Now we have to compromise on the basic tendencies of life. And it's easy to say states' rights because who's going to disagree with them? The majority who doesn't know the Constitution or the law or even understand God's law. No law can be accepted, according to William Blackstone, that is not according to God's law. If it's going to go against God's law and kill babies for no reason because you're not, and we can debate abortion all day long. The bottom line is over 90% of abortions are committed, 95% of abortions are committed because of social reasons, not because there's something wrong with the person or the mother or anything like that. So you're looking at this going, this is all about the end game. It's Machiavellianism. The ends justify the means.
And you've democratized, even in putting it in states' rights, you've democratized murder.
Ooh, right? There you go. We made it votable.
We've made it votable. We've made it by popular demand, right? And
what's the difference between them and Caesar? Up or down? In the Colosseums.
Exactly. And I get tired of this squishy position. And I was actually listening to something earlier today, and they were talking about this. And the person who was defending this idea of like Republicans need to stand up, not even a Republican, but was saying, look, if you believe it's murder, why would you say, well, it's a states' rights issue? And this was, I believe, before Trump had even come out and said what he said. Why do we as conservatives and Republicans, why are we so afraid to stand on conviction? Why are we so afraid of the opinions of other people that they won't like that we say abortion is murder and it just shouldn't be legal? And I remember during the whole Roe v. Wade overturning situation, controversy, that's the word I'm looking for. We were saying, yeah, but it's murder. So exactly. It should be federal, not a states thing. And we 100%. Had conservatives pushing it. Well, it should just be the states, and the states. You are democratizing murder.
That's exactly it. So what's the difference between the federal government or your state saying it's still wrong?
Right.
We're saying it's wrong for the federal government to do it. But now you're saying it's so stupid.
It's okay if 17 states say it's okay.
Yeah.
And the rest say it's not good. That's okay.
So think about that. If the right, if you will, was to label the left the way that the left labels us. So there's 17 states that are willing to murder your babies at will.
Right.
I mean, say it that way, right? But now you're saying you've weaponized government to determine what I'm telling you. We've said it from the beginning for a long time, years since we started, I think. The moment you let government tell you when life begins, it'll surely tell you one day when life ends. Mm-hmm. This euthanasia conversation is not going to stop, right?
Yeah.
I had something on my heart this morning too, Mike, about pedophilia. This whole man-boy love crap that they're trying to make normal.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away. And the more we demoralize humans in the womb, we're not going to care about as they grow older.
Right.
We're just going to let them be fed to I'm telling you, if we don't stop this, this is what's going to happen. And I'm not prophesying. I'm saying I don't want this to happen. Lord, bring justice, because we can't have this in the states, because states are finicky, man. They change their minds like they change their underwear, just like the federal government does.
Right.
So
at some point, the nation needs to come together as one voice and say, we will not accept this in our nation. Why is that so difficult for us?
Right. One more thing. Yeah, you're right. Why is it so hard for us to accept this as is? But one more thing. If the federal government is fighting against the state of Texas for protecting its borders, and it's a state's issue, this is every state constitution has to protect itself from foreign invaders, right? What makes you think the federal government's going to stay out of states' rights when it comes to abortion?
Right.
What makes you think it's not going to be monopolized?
And what's the number one way the federal government tries to control the states? Money, your own money. They blackmail you with your own money. So they look at the state and then, well, you just passed really restrictive abortion laws and we don't like that. So there goes your funding.
That's right.
And I'm so tired of the federal government using our own dollars to blackmail us. But I'm also tired of us hiding behind the states' rights issue on
100%.
Something that is morally reprehensible. This is truly right along that level. Pedophilia, it's a states' rights issue.
I know. It sounds extreme. It sounds extreme. But guys, when has sin let up? At first, they just wanted to be gay. And then they want a gay marriage. And I remember telling people this. It's not going to stop there. It's not going to stop there. And it got worse. And transgenderism. Now we have Disney shows that are promoting it. This family has 2 mothers. It never stops. You keep letting sin in the door, bro. It's not going to stop. And the moment we give the authority, listen, for you to say the authorities in the states proves you never had the authority in the first place. And the federal government fed on this crap for 50 years and killed 60 million babies. They knew it wasn't within their jurisdiction. And so for you to say it's in states' rights proves, first off, how constitutionally illiterate our nation is, not just Trump, not most of our senators and representatives as well. Also the states. The states should be in an uproar right now. We don't want to kill babies. Where are they? Right. Where are the governors saying, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this here. You know what I mean?
And the left will not back off of this position of abortion on demand at all times up to birth. How come they get to hold that position? And we can point the finger at them and go, you're crazy and you're evil and you're wicked. But they'll actually fight for that policy position. We get in a tussle between ourselves going, well, I mean, it might lose votes, so states' rights. Then we'll get the votes. Or stand firm on conviction and don't care what the independents or the left wing says on it. Don't care when they come at you and say, you're trying to control women's bodies. Actually stand on conviction. It's mind-blowing to me that now is the opportunity. Biden has screwed it all up. Now is the opportunity. And we're going to get conservatives who are like, well, Trump said it, so it must be right. Have we not figured out yet the man does not stand on deep convictions?
Right.
And I know I'm going to catch flack for that, but he doesn't. He does not stand on deep convictions.
Right.
Now, you may say he wants America first and all that. Sure, that's his conviction. But how can you tell me he's got deep conviction about the abortion issue when he just flat out came out and said, well, it's states' rights because otherwise we're going to lose votes? He proved himself.
That's exactly.
I'm tired of us covering for him on this.
Look, the bottom line is, dude, on politics, the ends justify the means. And that's what we're trying to get out of as a ministry. This is what we're trying to encourage you in. This isn't about the ends justifying the means. This is about what's right and wrong. And people are saying that's not the way it is. And dude, to the left it is. It's about what they think is right and wrong. It never stops, never lets up. We can't keep compromising, dude. We can't do it. So this conversation to me is stupid and over, but I'm frustrated about it. It's what it is.
And for you guys, this is what you guys need to pick up from this. At first, they'll ignore you. Then they'll laugh at you. Then they'll hate you. Then they'll love you. Stand on conviction. Because you'll go through those 4 phases, right? And that's okay. Because I think people get past the ignoring and they start to get into they're laughing at you or even they hate you, period. And go, oh, well, I must have done something wrong. I probably shouldn't stand on my conviction. No, push through and stand on conviction. Why is it that Wilberforce will stand for 40 years on the topic of slavery, get laughed out of Parliament all the time? Every single time he put it forward, everybody's like, that'll kill the economy. What are you doing? It's not worth it. We're not ever going to do this. Finally wins. So maybe you need to learn longevity and perseverance in the convictions you hold in your heart, no matter what other people say.
Yep. I never saw the Lord say, advance his cause through compromise.
Right. It's time to stand, especially when the rest of the world is telling you, don't go that way, don't go that way. Because if the world loves you, that means you're not actually in the will of God.
Right. And for those of you who will take this in the wrong way to say you're capping on Trump, you missed the whole point of the show. Okay? You missed the whole point of this taping. This whole thing we just did. You're not seeing the spiritual, you're seeing the natural. And I would beg you to pray about where your heart is with this issue. Is this about a man or is this about what's right in lives, babies' lives, by the way? Right. Things that are creations of God. Okay?
Amen. So, guys, that's our thoughts on it. Kind of a breaking news item, so we thought we'd get on the horn and let you guys know what we thought of it. So be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe if this is the type of content that you appreciate. Click that notification bell. And thank you to all of you. So we love you guys. We'll see you next time.